Welcome to the Independence Bowl, presented by Walk-Ons as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. We say hello from sunny Shreveport, Louisiana, and Independence Stadium. The Duke Blue Devils out of the ACC and the Temple Owls out of the American Athletic Conference. The Blue Devils 7-5. A strong start, a slow finish. Temple the opposite. Stumbled out of the gate and have powered their way here to Shreveport today. Temple shows blitz as they drop to a one safety look. The Blue Devils attack that with ferocity, and Deion Jackson's got a first down.
Directs, conducts this offense, looking always the safeties and trying to put his team in the best play.
Jones lobs it up for Ramming, who was the motion man. He breaks away inside the 20, slips one tackle, and the second on the shoelaces prevents him from getting 6.
You want to talk about NFL throws, and this is an NFL throw, and why? Because watch the quarterback take the hit. He understands he's going to get hit. He's in the face of danger, but yet he's able to stay calm.
Quentin Harris in at quarterback here, Kirk.
A little wild devil.
Jones comes in motion. Harris tumbles toward the goal line, and he's in for a Duke touchdown. So Harris has his 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
Well, you want to call it Wildcat or Wild Devil, whatever it may be. But all you do is you're dialing up Daniel Jones on the outside and think about all the attention on the quarterback. 17, wait, he's not behind quarterback. It's someone totally different. That was an outstanding job of Harris getting the football and go straight into the end zone, falling straight forward.
So a quick drive, just 6 plays. Goes for 77 yards in less than 2.5 minutes for Duke, with a banged-up defense that forced a punt from Temple, and they've got the early 7-0 advantage here in Shreveport. And hear the way that he talks about it, and his brother, and how passionate he is about the relationship that he had with his brother Cliff, and the way that they bonded over something very interesting. Here's a breakaway on the kickoff. Temple's trying to even the score as Isaiah Wright breaks away. The American Conference Special Teams Player of the Year gives a big spark to the Owls in early November. Russo keeps it. He's got space cleared in front, tumbling at the goal line. And he's got a touchdown. Russo takes off from 15 yards, and the Owls aren't within an extra point.
First of all, outstanding block by Jovan Fair, giving enough room for Anthony Russo to go find pay dirt. He almost mishandled the snap coming off, but all you got to do is follow behind the redshirt junior, number 70, Fair, find yourself into the end zone.
And the extra point is true for Will Mobley, the redshirt freshman from Pennsylvania. 7-7, Duke and Temple. Both offenses coming with a quick strike. Neither touchdown drive has lasted more than 2.5 minutes. Russo sacrifices the body for 6. Already heavily taped, as you can see. A guy who's fought through injury this year, missed 2 weeks. Quentin Harris comes in now at quarterback, who had the touchdown run for Duke at the opposite end of the field. Harris throws. His pass is caught by Daniel Helm, the tight end, just shy of the 40-yard line for the first down.
Yes, Duke uses the tight end. They use the tight end a ton.
They use several tight ends.
This is a tight end-friendly offense. You want to come play college football and be a tight end, come on down.
And saw just limited action over their last couple of games. Losses against Clemson and Wake Forest. Waiting for that screen to get set up, and the ball is intercepted by Randall. There he goes the other way. A pick 6 for the senior Delvon Randall.
It's the significance of the single-digit number. Number 2, just watching Delvon Randle on the left side of your screen, and we call it lying in the weeds. Lying in the weeds. Make sure no one sees you. And once that ball is thrown, he attacks. And that's what you expect from a senior who's played in 54 games. That's right, 54 games at Temple. This won't be his last game. He's already been invited to the East-West Shrine game. But Delvon Randle, one of the outstanding defensive backs for this Temple ball club.
Extra point, no good for Temple. So he gets to put his social media handle on the Get the Ball board. Backup quarterback. Things get a little bit interesting for Duke. Energy for Temple. It comes from the interim head coach, Ed Foley. He loves Shreveport. Loves it.
It's third down, understanding where he can go with the ball, but also watch his shoulder manipulation.
He stands tall. The defense wins that battle as Jones ends up on his rear end.
And former Temple coach Matt Rhule.
So it's a Temple trifecta on a Thursday. Up top, intercepted. Brandon Feemster has the Duke interception. Ball comes loose at the end of the play as he goes down to the 40-yard line. Just the 4th pick of the year for the Blue Devils, and a big one.
First of all, Brandon Feemster, make sure you put this on your highlight tape. This is what I call clinic tape, Mike. You know why? Because he's what we call in phase the entire time. He realizes, hey, I've got the receiver right behind me. He's not going anywhere, and he's able to turn his head around, whip your head around, jump up, and get the ball at its highest point.
Third and short. The throw is intercepted. Second pick of the afternoon for Temple. Linwood Crump, the junior corner, has his third takeaway.
Just a poor decision here by Daniel Jones. He's just staring it down. When he double clutches, should just throw it away. You throw it up in the air, Temple makes you pay for it.
And in terms of forcing 3 and outs as well, number 5 in the country. Third down, the throw is past the sticks. And that's a Temple first down as he hits the tight end, Chris Myron. Dave Patno, the offensive coordinator, praised above all his maturity is what led him to get the job and keep the job. His pass down to the 10-yard line for Broderick Yancey.
You just got to like what you see from Russo. It may have touched the goal line.
On his second try, he's not denied. Britt Travato has his 4th touchdown of the year, and Temple's lead is up to 12.
You'll take another look at that one, but what a great surge up front. That offensive line. So far, we've seen them on different runs, but watch this. Watch how they control the defensive line of scrimmage. They're playing in the Duke backfield. Okay, they're playing on the Duke side of the football. And when you're able to push that many guys into the end zone, it creates just enough room for your running back to be able to go in and do what he does, which is score a touchdown.
Britt Travato, nicknamed Nitro, guitar player. His hair's not as long as it used to be. He's a pretty intense guy.
And he's got the ability to take off and pick up some extra yards.
Third leading rusher on the team this year. Almost picked off again. He unloads to Taylor.
Chris Taylor on the reception.
I mean, you got to talk about the toughness that he possesses. He's going to get hit, but he's still able to show the accuracy with that arm. That's what Duke wants to do continuously. But I like this drive right here from Duke, responding after the score from Temple.
Sustained drives from both sides. And looking to go deep, he does. Jones for Taylor. It's a Duke touchdown. 34 yards to the wide open wide receiver.
You know, one of the things I always loved having fun at practice when I was in the NFL or even in college, it's putting a bucket right there or a garbage can right there in the end zone. and watching quarterbacks make this throw over and over again. Watch the arc on the ball. It goes right up, and watch how it comes right down in the arms of the wide receiver. That shows practice. That shows skill. That shows a quarterback that is doing it over and over again. It may look easy, but that is a difficult throw to make.
Colin Warehams' extra point is good. And Duke's back within 6. Daniel Jones missed a little bit of time after his ankle got rolled up earlier on today. But this is a showcase game for him. A decision about the NFL draft awaits. There's still work to be done with Temple in front.
Get the sack, but I'm telling you, I already know Brandon Hill's like, you stole that from me.
Hill, the linebacker, getting his 4th straight start with injuries to both starters for Duke at the linebacker spot. Joe Giles Harris and Ben Humphreys are out.
Individually, getting to know him and see where they can excel on his team.
Russo's short pass turning into a big gain. Sean Ryan again, another grab on this drive. Manny Diaz, in the course of the last couple weeks, only missed 1 Miami practice during bowl prep. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, because he understands, and look, that's one of the things that, but they understand opportunity presents itself. Got to take that opportunity.
Russo goes back corner. He's got a touchdown. Broderick Yancey, his first touchdown of the year. Temple continues to score. It's an 8-yard strike. They have given him all sorts of time to throw.
But it's communication, it's bunches, stacks, and leverage. And Russo just allows the routes to develop. When you got 3 guys in one spot, you force the defense to have to communicate. And that time, it was an easy pitch and catch for Broderick Yancey. He just runs a corner route. Russo finds him.
Tipped but good. 27-14. 4:26 to go. See if the Blue Devils have an answer. Jones gets sent on the run. He threw it behind Lloyd, who still turned to make the catch.
Pass complete to Jonathan Lloyd.
If anybody wants to question the toughness of Daniel Jones, you should, because the quarterback understands he's going to get hit when he makes this throw, and he's been doing it all game long.
They've got all 3 timeouts here, right on the doorstep of the red zone. Jones goes up top again, and Rimming has the touchdown. A 22-yard toss. He put it in the bucket for the 2nd time today.
I'm telling you, Mike, I'm singing the praises of Daniel Jones, and I'm not trying to, kind of blow this guy up too much, but when you think about Peyton Manning and what Peyton Manning was able to do in the NFL, just watch the mannerisms and watch the mechanics of Daniel Jones on that throw. It was all shoulder manipulation. It was also throwing the ball, like I mentioned earlier, in the bucket, but it's very eerie, similar to what we used to see from Eli and Peyton Manning. The mannerisms, the way that he conducts this offense, but that throw, another beauty from Daniel Jones.
He's been counseled wisely by David Cutcliffe, who coached both the brothers as an assistant at Tennessee, as the head coach at Ole Miss. Threw the interception, one of those 2 picks. Jones has thrown one as well. We're watching Jones in what may be his last game in a Duke uniform. The redshirt junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. You know what they say, scared money don't make money. And this is it. Season's over after this one. Solid pocket, Jones to Rimming. How about the way he carried that ball to the ground, just gripping it in the left hand, trying to shimmy his way through the defense. He gets 26 yards.
I like the way Daniel Jones there at all. Watch how he buys time as a quarterback. He waits and allows the route to develop. Because one of the more dynamic safeties in all of FBS.
Duke wants the equalizer, and Jones is in with it untouched. 27 all.
Sometimes you just marvel at the arm of Daniel Jones, but what about the legs? I said it before, the guy's a 4'5", 40 type guy. And that one right there, that's just too easy, racing to the corner. But instead, he cuts it back up, showing some awareness, showing some vision. And Daniel Jones putting on a nice little show here down in Shreveport.
Multi-dimensional display on what was almost a 4-minute touchdown drive for the Blue Devils. Extra points good, and Duke has the lead, 28-27. And got them their first bowl win in 32 years. And then Matt Rule, coach for 4 years, took them into the American Conference. He won a conference title, their first in almost 50 years. And then Jeff Collins, 2 years and 2 bowls. And all the conversation for him, although he's tried to block it out as of late, has been whether or not he'll choose to enter his name into the NFL draft. He says right now his mind is not yet made up, but if he continues to play like this and hit TJ Ramming for big strikes, he may have no choice but to go to the league. It's 85 yards, the touchdown from Jones to Ramming.
It's just right on cue, Mike. You start talking Daniel Jones, and you just, first of all, watch as he puts the ball where it needs to be. See, it may look simple at home, but that's a difficult throw because there's traffic. You got to find a way to not only hit your wide receiver in stride, but just watch the fundamentals, the footwork, the follow-through. You don't think a quarterback gets excited when he makes a perfect pass, and your wide receiver, TJ Ramming, makes you even more right on that one? This is why a lot of NFL prognosticators, evaluators, they love this from Daniel Jones. They think that he's going to have a tough decision, Mike.
And Lauren, it's hard to believe he hasn't made up his mind yet, but he's certainly had good counsel.
Yeah, guys, and one thing that you can see from Coach Cutt, obviously he has a lot of great guys that he can mentor from, and that's one thing Daniel Jones says that has been so important in this process. You know, Coach only spoke with Daniel one time leading up to this bowl game, just one time about this process and what he wanted to do.
On fourth down. Nobody back deep for Duke. Russo sees it, and his lob is too long. Incomplete, turnover on downs.
It's more about the lower body when throwing the football than it is about the upper body.
Well, you were talking about some similarities you saw between Jones and Peyton Manning earlier with the shoulder fakes. Do you see it in the lower body too? Second and short, the injured Temple Owl was Delvon Randall. He of the pick 6 earlier in the game, taking back the pass from Quentin Harris. Does that bother you, or do you think it impacts recruiting? Jones on first down. Ramming is out near the 5-yard line. First and goal, Blue Devils. That's been quite a connection today between Jones and the 2-time All-ACC wide receiver. Duke's got a chance to get some great separation here from Temple with either 3 or 7. Jones to the end zone. Touchdown, Duke. Jake Bobo, the freshman, has his first career touchdown.
Daniel Jones is putting on a show. And I can tell, you can see David Cutcliffe there whispering in his ear. You saw it the whole way. Just a great read by the quarterback. The whole RPO, Daniel Jones ran it to perfection. Getting the Duke Blue Devils off on fourth down.
Temple's going to have to hope down the stretch here. Its defense can live up to the billing. They're just going to have to hope to hang on right now. Having to fall back on it at the 10-yard line. Connor Bowler saves Duke from scoring a special teams touchdown.
Yeah, they were going with a fake.
Looking for Rich Ravato, the fullback.
Yeah, that was a fake, and I'm not so sure Ravato even knew. I could tell by Ravato. Watch. I think he threw it to the wrong guy, possibly.
Jones, the quarterback, split out wide, ramming. The wide receiver takes the snap, hands it off, and that's a Duke touchdown for Britton Brown.
Yeah, just got to give some love to the guys up front. Julian Santos, Zach Harmon, Christian Harris, Jack Wollabaugh. That offensive line got some great push, played on the Temple side of the ball. And when you got defenders hanging out in the end zone because you pushed them back, they just gave a nice crease for Britton Brown. Shout out to the offensive line of Duke there with a great surge, and Brown doing the rest.
It's been a nice split this afternoon for Deion Jackson. 10 carries for him. Brown, 5 on his ledger. And the extra point good for Colin Wareham.
Should.
But in the current landscape, it doesn't.
But if you beat 2 SEC opponents along the way, that definitely should get more attention into the expansion of the playoff.
The ruling on the field is the quarterback's knee was on the ground before he threw the ball. Second down.
Now, make them all feel your pain.
There's something to be said for that with the way that Duke finished the regular season. Now here's the pass. Jones back to Harris, who's got an army in front of him. 3 blockers lead the way as he takes it inside the 20. They're going to make him feel the pain with some trick plays.
Yeah, you start digging in your bag. You start going to the bag of tricks. And you already knew something was up when you had a trips wide receiver and Daniel Jones was in the back. You throw to him first and bring it back to Harris. It's hard for NFL evaluators to overlook what he's done today.
It's tipped. He takes it and goes inside the 5.
So he's running.
All right, let's see him kick an extra point.
He's passing. He's receiving. I mean, what else does this guy, what else can he do? You mentioned it. Can he kick an extra point? Is he a holder? What else? I mean, he's a nice little game.
Jones with a slant end zone touchdown. Davis Copenhaver extends his Duke tight end touchdown record to 12. And a flag down on the play.
I think that may be unsportsmanlike at the end of the play. Temple showing a little frustration there. Defense has not been pushed around like that, but again, Daniel Jones, it's the RPO again, creating enough of a room, but the velocity in which he throws with, I think it was that last little bit at the end there by Delvon Randall.
Duke looking to make it 56-27. And it has been all Duke in the second half. It was 27-21 Temple at the half. Duke taking care of the rest. As he really means it.
No, he was real. He kept it real with us, telling us they expected a much different outcome on their season. They expected this team to, first of all, they've got the quarterback, and they felt that the skill position players and
there's no worry he's jumping ship and going somewhere quote unquote better. Russo across the middle, nearly picked off by Javon Jackson. And the Owls turn it over. Oh, Kyrie and Harden back up their Christmas Day 40-point performances. Sports Center, it's after Baylor and Vandy. Interception number 3 of the day for the Owls defense. Well timed as Benny Mills, the junior from New Jersey, has his 3rd pick of the season.
Well, that's not one of his better throws of the day. It's the second time he's done this. It's throw across his body into danger. Scored 6 touchdowns, 5 throwing, 1 pass. 5 throwing and 1 running.
Ball comes loose as Rich Rivado, the fullback, was on the run. Duke says they've got it, and they do. Turnover for a turnover. Victor Dimukeje to recovery.
Just run it in there. You got to put both hands on the ball, protect it. When you don't do that, guys are easily able to go out and punch the football out.
So Duke, 35 unanswered in the second half, comes away with a 56-27 win. So for Kirk Morrison, Lauren Sisler, our entire production crew led by Tom Schofield, Tim Swartz, Joe Sullivan in the booth. I'm Mike Cousins saying so long from Shreveport, Louisiana. College football scoreboard is next here on ESPN.